everybody, and welcome back to Lovebird Makes. My name is Julianne, and I'm here with a bit of a weird one today. I'm not feeling well. My throat is starting to get quite sore for some reason. So it's probably not the best day to be sitting here talking to you guys, but I thought better now than never. So I've been really out of sorts lately. This is probably going to be more of a chatty episode. I want some advice. I have a microphone, so hopefully the sound is good, and hopefully my my cardigan doesn't rub against the microphone too much. Yeah, so it's probably going to be a bit more chatty because I am in a slump. I don't know if I'm getting depressed again, which is something that I haven't dealt with for a little while because I'm on much better medication now than I used to be on. Things just aren't really jiving with me at the minute. I do have a couple of projects to chat to you about and some vague ideas of future plans. Elvis is here next to me on the couch. It's a cooler day today. It's quite windy. He doesn't really like wind. He's pretty fearless, but he doesn't like wind. So he is here today. He may stick his little snout in at some point. But yeah, I've got a few things to show you, and then yeah, just a bit of a chat, and hopefully can get some advice from you guys to try and get me over the kind of crafting slump that I'm in at the moment. So maybe I should talk about some things that I've finished making. I've been working away on my new to me knitting machine. So if you remember, you've probably seen the videos if you've been following me for any length of time. About this time last year, maybe 14 months ago, I got my very first knitting machine, and I showed you guys cleaning that all up and going through the yarn that I got with it and all of that kind of thing. And basically it turned out that machine that I got, which was supposed to be a punch card machine, actually didn't work. The punch card didn't work on it. And so the punch card basically works for patterning and things like that. So you can have tuck stitch patterns, you can have ferrule patterns, all that kind of stuff on there. And that was really what I wanted the knitting machine for, because I don't really care. I think I spoke about this in my last project update video. Ferrule isn't really something that I enjoy doing by hand, so the idea of being able to do it with punch cards on a knitting machine was really enticing. So yeah, unfortunately that machine, although I love that machine, the punch card does not work. The punch card reader doesn't work. So I actually purchased another machine. That my initial machine was an 820, like a Brother Empasel KH820, and I've since bought the Brother KH860. But it's more advanced machine. I can do different type of patterning things on it and whatever. And the punch card reader does work on that. So I found a pattern on one of my knitting machine groups, and it's called Ripple Baktus. And I think Baktus may mean shawl. I'm not 100% sure. It's basically a triangle shawl that is knit point to point. So you increase and then decrease. I will grab my projects and I will show you. So I have 3 of them here. I haven't woven in the ends on them yet. 2 of them have been washed but not really blocked. So these are not in their final beautiful form by any means. But I thought I would share them with you. So, like I said, oh gosh, there's so many ends on this one. And this yarn that I used, it was some yarn that I got with that original knitting machine in February last year. And it is like so sticky. And like because I was using 2 strands to knit this, the not hand wound cakes. I didn't hand wind the cakes because it's far too fine for that. I'd be there forever. The cakes that I'd wound on my ball winder, they would get stuck to themselves. It's like really tacky yarn. It would get stuck to themselves. So there's a lot of ends here because I was getting tons of tangles where it's almost like it's so sticky. Even though this is acrylic yarn, it's almost like it was felting to itself. It was getting really stuck to itself. But yeah, I did successfully get 2 shawls out of this yarn. So it's in this kind of khaki green, sort of sagey green colour. This was the second one that I did, and this was using a punch card that actually came in the pattern. So there's 3, I believe, punch card patterns that you can then punch yourself in the pattern. This is one of them. I didn't have this particular punch card in my punch card sets, although I believe that the pattern writer said they were from a standard set. So I mean, I could be misreading that in the pattern, but I think that's what they said. So yeah, this one, these are tuck stitch patterns. And by the way, my raggedy band-aid, that's because knitting machines bite. But you can kind of see that it's like a diamond pattern, so it would have been knit this way round. So it starts, I mean, this is the very end, but you'll get the idea. It starts with only a few stitches, and then it just gradually increases, and then you do a short section straight at the bottom, and then you start decreasing. It's got this really pretty diamond tuck stitch pattern. The first one I did was this one. So this card was from a set that I had. I've kind of mixed up my set, so I don't exactly know. I have to go back to the manuals for the machines that I have, because I also purchased a couple of Singer 321 machines in a lot, because there was a table, which you can probably see behind me here. There was a table and a cone winder included in that bundle. So I got another set of punch cards in that. So it could be from that. It could be from my brother sets. I'm not 100% sure. But this one I think was card 2. I'm not 100% sure on that. But this is a really nice, very, very squishy. I've obviously had a few patterning issues. I have accidentally pulled thread tight here because there was an issue. Well, not really an issue, but that's where there is some loose threads where I added a new ball of yarn. So I don't know that I'm going to be able to get that to come back as it should be. Potentially I'm always going to have that kind of line there. But yeah, this is really squishy, this one. I like this one. And then the final one was from some of my own yarn. This was just some rosewood that I pulled out of the shop. And this one has more of an actual ripple kind of tuck stitch pattern. Again, this was one that I punched my own card from the pattern. And yeah, so this is, I've got my edge stitches for some reason, because there's kind of this I-cord kind of edging along the edge, and for some reason on the second half of my shawl it kept falling off the needle. I don't know why. I had it weighted properly, so I don't quite know why it was doing that, but this was my rosewood one, and I actually quite like the reverse on this one too, because you kind of get these hopefully you can kind of see that, you kind of get these slight little zigzag kind of shape, so I quite like the back of that one as well. But this one hasn't been washed at all, so this is straight off the machine. But yeah, I really like this kind of ripply kind of pattern, so I'm looking forward to seeing what this one does, because like I said, the other two were knit from acrylic. This one is merino, or merino nylon. So this was my sock base, merino sock. I'm looking forward to seeing how this washes and blocks, to see whether it will grow at all. I really got to put those ends in so that I can give it a wash and see how it ends up. And the next thing that I have been working on is, this is basically my couch project at the moment, and it's a cardigan. It's a little bit of a mess, and of course I'm halfway through a row when I put the project down. But this was a cardigan that I already had, that I was wearing. It was in my rotation. It was actually one of my favorites, but I had always intended to pull the sleeves back because they were very really baggy. Like the sleeves on this cardigan are quite baggy, but like it kind of works. This one I could only had enough yarn to get them 3/4, and it was quite baggy and stretched out, and it was really, really long. It went down to below my bum. So I ended up putting a hole in it, and I don't know how it happened, but I got a hole in it, which I was kind of upset about. So what I did is I painstakingly frogged it basically. And this yarn, because it's a single ply yarn, it had felted quite a bit. Like singles yarns, sometimes when you dye it, does get a little bit fluffy, and it seems with all of the wearing and the washing and stuff that it had started to felt a little bit. So pulling it apart was actually quite hard. And there was a lot of fluff. Like there is literally, I noticed on my carpet, even though I vacuum every day, there is fluff on the floor already from last night when I was knitting on this. Let me fix my levels. I'm a bit bright all of a sudden. I want to go up a little bit again. Basically, I frogged a sweater and I am re-knitting that same sweater. It is called the Cardigan Péridot, so it's a cardigan, it's not a sweater. And it is basically, it's a buttoned cardigan. But I am skipping the buttons because I never put the buttons. I did the buttonholes, but I never put the buttons on my original iteration of this. So I'm just not bothering with buttons at all on this version, because I don't tend to button any of my cardigans. Like this is the Winter's Beach cardigan by Andrea Mowry. This one does not have buttons, and I'm fine with that. I don't tend to do them up anyway. If I want my belly covered, I tend to just wear a sweater rather than a cardigan. So this is probably going to be hard to see because it's quite dark here in my house. As always, we've had quite a bit of rain this morning, but it is clearing now, so the sun's beginning to come out. But it has this sort of textured pattern. I think it's like every fourth row has like you can just see them. It's so hard to see, but there's like little pearl stitches that give it kind of this textured, so that's stockinette there on the sleeve, and you can see that kind of texture on the body. When I frogged this sweater, I reskeined the yarn and I added more black to it because it was starting to look a little bit faded, so I actually re-dyed the yarn. I think I'm supposed to be getting to 15 inches down from the armhole. I don't know. I haven't measured that. I don't quite know. That's probably maybe 12 inches, 10 to 12 inches, I think. So yeah, it's supposed to be 15 before I start the bottom ribbing. So for now, I'm just knitting on this backwards and forwards. Is like I said, it's my couch knitting at night when Simon and I are sitting down watching a bit of TV. So that is that. I guess now I can get to my point where I want to ask you guys for some advice, because I'm really stuck at the moment because nothing is really taking my fancy at all. I've been a knitter for just on 12 years, I think. I started back in 2013, and I actually started knitting because I had stopped working due to my mental health and I needed something to do. So I had tried knitting when I was a child. I was never very successful, you know, as a lot of us, the story that a lot of us have. I got frustrated with it as a child, so I gave it away, and I was more of a crochet person during my teens and that kind of thing. And then it wasn't until I stopped work and I should try knitting again. So I did, and it kind of stuck. So I've basically been knitting on a consistent basis for the last 12 years. You know, obviously that evolved into me creating my hand-dyed yarn company. So like yarn and knitting has been a huge part of my life. And I've gotten to the point now where I'm kind of, I don't know that I'm completely off knitting. I think I'm maybe burnt out. And I think I'm also feeling the pressure of having a lot of unfinished projects piling up behind me. And some of them have very little work left to do to get them to finish, but it's just, I can't focus my brain on getting any of these things done. I mean, that's not even the problem. Like, it's so hard. I don't know, do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? I just can't. What is it? Motivation. I think it's just motivation, honestly. I do have already issues with executive function just simply because of my depression, my anxiety, my potential ADHD, which I think I have. I haven't been diagnosed officially because I just can't afford it. I can't afford to go for the assessment, but I'm pretty sure I have a lot of the indicators for ADHD. So I have a lot of trouble with executive function, and I think that's part of my problem. And it's also why, like, those knitting machines I was talking to you earlier about, the 321, the Singer 321 knitting machines, I bought them in a lot so I could get the pieces that I wanted out of the lot, and I would on-sell everything else. And sorry, my nose has just started to run. I'm really worried I'm getting sick, guys. So I intended to swap out sponge bars, clean needles, strip down carriages, give them a clean, give them an oil, make sure the machines are all clean and working and ready to go to their new homes. Instead, they've just ended up sitting there for months. And it's the same with back last year, right after I got my original knitting machine, I found a Passat Pinky in Truro, which is a Barossa Valley kind of town north of Adelaide. I got it home. Instead of carriages, they call them locks. So Passat basically is a fixed double bed machine, so it's a big triangle. If you've seen my shorts with me working on making a sock on like the green machine, that is also a Passat, very similar machine. And anyway, the locks, the runs on the lock, like the rails, they were all breaking apart. All the plastic was falling off them. So basically it was useless. There's not really a fix for them other than using like JB Weld to try and stick all the pieces back together. There came a listing on Gumtree, kind of like a Craigslist kind of thing. Somebody was selling a Pinky down in Yankalilla, which is a southern town in South Australia. And there was 2 sets of locks in that lot. So I'm like, oh, okay, well I can get that and then I'll have a set of locks for each machine. So we went and got that, and I'll refurbish it, I'll get it going, I'll clean the needles, I'll clean the beds, I'll clean and oil everything up, and I haven't done it. It's still sitting around. Behind my couch here is just full of knitting machine paraphernalia that I don't even want. Like, these are things that I'm intending to fix up and sell on, but I just can't get the motivation up to do it. I think, is it just because it's not fun cleaning things like that and pulling things apart? It's not fun. Also, I'm scared because what if I pull it apart and I can't get it back together? Then it's just a waste of time and it's basically junk. So that's the other thing, is it's just like motivating myself to do these things. It's like I can't even motivate myself at the moment to spend time knitting. Like you guys are probably the same. We often can spend hours happily sitting and knitting, and I just can't do that at the moment. Stupid mobile games are the only things that are really keeping my attention. So I don't know whether I need like a dopamine detox or something, just to like, do I need to make myself bored for a while? I don't know what it is. Have you guys ever had a similar occurrence? Like, how did you get through it? How did you get yourself going again and starting to enjoy your craft again? I'm kind of at a loss. I'm just at the point where I just think I'm just going to turn into a rock and just spend my entire life staring at a mobile phone screen. Stupid mobile games that are just a waste of time. And I don't like it. And I don't enjoy not enjoying things that I love, So I'm kind of at my wit's end, I think, at the minute. So please, 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 if you do have any suggestions, let me know down in the comments, because I will very much appreciate them. Because my other thing is then, because I'm not getting the enjoyment and fulfillment out of the projects that I'm currently working on, my brain goes to cast on something else. Make something small, just as like a circuit breaker or something, like make a cowl or a little shawlette or something, just to try and get you excited again on something. But then I worry, am I just starting another project that's not going to get finished, But I have brought a couple of yarns down from my shop because I'm thinking of maybe using them in something, making something kind of smallish. to test the circuit breaker idea. You guys are probably all sitting there shaking your head going, no, don't do it. I thought maybe I would share with you the yarns that I'm thinking about and my potential thoughts about what I want to use them for. So entertain me in pipe dreams of completing other projects in order to get my mojo back. Let's have a look at some yarn, shall we? Okay, so I've got two colorways here. Slightly thicker yarn, it's a heavier fingering. So this is my colorway Flushed. So it's kind of like a soft pinky orange kind of color with brown and red speckles on it. So this was one colorway I thought I would like to actually knit up into potentially like, what do they call them? Like the cowl shawl things. So it's like a cowl, so it goes around the back, but it's like a triangle in the front so that it's kind of like a shawl, but it's a cowl. So I was thinking maybe I'd be able to find some sort of pattern that I could use these for, because that was basically what I was thinking, because I just thought it would look really pretty with this kind of peachy pink and the speckles. And the reason I picked these two colours is they've been in the shop for a while and nobody seems to want them. So I'm just choosing to keep them for myself, I guess. So yeah, this was Flushed, potentially for a shawlette, not a shawlette, that's a small shawl, a shawl, a caul. I don't know what they're called, a shawl cowl. Or I do have this colorway which has been in the shop for a really, really long time. So this is basically the same as what I'm wearing. It doesn't look exactly the same because this is quite a bit older and I've worn it a fair amount and it's pretty pilly at the minute. You probably can't even, you can kind of see there. It's pretty pilly. So this is what it looks like fresh. So this is called Hickory. This is my colorway Hickory. And it seems nobody really likes hickory, even though it's one of my favourites. But I have two skeins of sport weight. And with this yarn, I've been thinking for a really long time, because this has been hanging around for a long time, of knitting some kind of shawl with this, like a proper like triangle shawl. And also I'm kind of erring towards cables, I think. Something with cables, something to kind of spice it up, to give me a bit more interest. So, you know, do I really need to cast on something new, or would I feel better finishing something that I'm already working on? But yeah, I really want to hear from you guys. Let me know, please, what have you done when you've had a similar situation to this? You know, do you just soldier on with what you've got on the needles? Do you try something new? Do you do something else entirely? Do you think I need a dopamine detox? But quite potentially. Yeah, I'm just feeling a little bit lost at the moment, I think. I know I need to work on my plans for my advent this year because I'm already really late and people have probably already bought other advents and they are not going to be around for mine, which makes me wonder whether I should be bothered doing an advent at all this year. But again, that's probably just my flim-flammy way I am at the moment. I'm just not really with it. I'm not really myself, guys. Give me your advice. Help me out. But I think if I sit here any longer, I am just going to keep talking crap. So let's move on. Let's let everybody get back to their real lives. Hopefully I will hear from you guys. I'm hoping to get more videos out. I think that's potentially something that will motivate me, is to say that I'm going to be here to talk to you guys every week. I'm trying to do more shorts. You might have seen a couple of them recently. I am trying to upload more. I do want to upload more. I have 2 videos other than this one that are coming down the pipeline. One is completely not craft related, and it's getting very late because it's actually Easter themed. So that is something I need to work on. And I also have my Weekender LK150 video halfway edited. So that is coming Again, motivation, trying to get me to sit down at my computer and edit videos is just really difficult at the moment. Trying to get my brain in gear. Just know that I'm always trying. I have the best intentions. Like I said to Simon the other night, I said, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and I seem to be heading towards hell because I have so many good intentions that I'm just not following through on. So I should probably try and work on that. Motivations, please, down in the comments. So I think let's just stop Julianne blathering and say thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you did enjoy it, and if you are not subscribed, please click that subscribe button. I've had a few new subscribers recently, so hi, thank you so much for hanging around. And yeah, I will hopefully see you very soon in another video. So I won't make any promises of days or regularity, but I intend to have some videos coming soon. So thank you so much, and happy crafting, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.